It is the first time in 20 years. It's a rematch for the national crown. The #1 seed, Ohio State, is your home team today. They are wearing their home whites, and it will be the Wisconsin Badgers who are the visitors donning their red. And we are off and running here at the WIT as we have a national championship on the line between the Buckeyes and Badgers. Both teams looking to not create a dynasty, but continue on one. Very quickly, it will be a touch for Ava McNaughton, who will just turn it aside, getting it in early. Never a bad thing for the goalie to be on it quick. Jocelyn Amos sends this one across. Hannah Bilka is on it. She is the leading point producer for this Buckeyes team. Amos from behind the net centers it. A quick shot, and McNaughton forced to be sharp early as she covers it up. And watching intently for his Wisconsin team is Mark Johnson in his 21st season, the all-time winningest coach in their program history. AJ.
I mean, ice in that guy's veins. It's amazing how calm, cool, and collected he is on the bench. Great for the team. He's had so much success. Obviously, you can't overlook his miracle on ice prowess back in 1980. Led that team in scoring. So and what he told us the other day, he said it's really just about the first 6 shifts. If anybody, you got to weather that storm, the nerves, the jump, see what you can do, and then you settle into your game.
Wisconsin has it in the Buckeyes' end. Lainey Potter, she floats it towards, but McKenna Webster gets a bit of her body on it. Webster with a huge game in the semifinal, a 2-point performance for the Buckeyes.
Good pinch there by Anna Wilgren, recognizing keep the puck in the zone, try to get a change. Right now it's about keeping pressure on, try to tire the other team out.
This will be Kayla Barnes. She takes a look up the ice. She'll send it across. The 2-time Olympian. Gold medal back in 2018.
And together
Team
with
USA.
Her teammate Hannah Bilka, they came over as grad student transfers through the portal from Boston College. Both of them, with all their experience, this is their first Frozen Four.
The Buckeyes with 6 transfers this season. All All-Stars in their programs, and they will be relevant here today. The puck will pop out of play. And leading the way for Ohio State in her 8th season, Nadine Mazurall. 3rd straight year, AJ, that she's the WCHA Coach of the Year.
Yeah, did anyone tell her St. Patrick's Day passed already? No, Maz, you look great in green. You know, she's one of those coaches that is, she also talked about that, the transfers coming over. She feels really good about that with her program. She's built a program where people want to come to win. They seek her out, and it really is incredible in her short time, relatively, behind the bench, how she took this team to, this program rather, into really, truly a powerhouse.
Ohio State, 34 wins on the season. Best their record performance from last year with 33, as they're looking for their 2nd national title in 3 years. Quick turnaround here for Wisconsin. They can't keep it in the zone, but they'll fire it back in, and they'll get a quick change.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about O'Brien and Sims on that top line, and we heard Dana talk about Layla Edwards. She's such a great complement to them. Her power, her speed, she can snap the puck, and obviously she had that empty net goal, but she has been tremendous on that top line with those 2 others.
Absolutely. Great compliment to the 2 Patty Kazmaier finalists. In the corner for Wisconsin is their captain, Britta Curl, who had a big assist on Vivian Jungle's game winner in Friday's semifinal. Caroline Harvey will send this one across. Here's Casey O'Brien. She puts it down low as Wisconsin continues to have pressure here in Ohio State's zone.
Very perimeter, though, keeping it on the outside. Good job by Ohio State. They're protecting the middle of the ice, forcing Wisconsin to keep it on the outside. But on the flip side, Wisconsin's been able to get some change, fresh legs out there.
Puck will pop loose. Here's Jungles, takes the shot. It's blocked in front. And Ohio will get a clear. That's Kiara Zanning getting her body in front of that shot for her team. And there's a loose puck. It's a bit of a foot race. Harvey's going in hard for Wisconsin. She slaps at it. Bilka working behind the net of McNaughton. It'll come free, and Wisconsin sends it ahead. 3.5 gone here in this opening frame. We'll have an icing to bring it back.
When you get to a championship game at any level, you got to make sure you are willing to put your body on the line. That's a great block shot. You can look at the way that she's able to come up with it. It's Kiara Zahn, and you talked about her before, but opened up, blocks a shot. You got to be willing to get black and blue in order to put your team on the line.
Off the draw, Ohio State wins it. Hadley Hartman's looking to hold it in here at the line, but her shot ricochets away, and it could be a quick turnaround for Wisconsin as they battle through. On the far side, this is McKenna Webster. Webster on the move. She's checked off the puck. The Buckeyes continue to work away here in the zone. Anna Wilgren for Wisconsin. She sends this one ahead. Held in at the line. Lainey Potter loses the handle of it. Olivia Mobley will pick it up for Ohio State. Amos also working behind the net.
Sorry, that puck almost got out. Wisconsin's got to be really careful right at the blue line. Really important couple of feet there. Get the puck out of the zone. Force the other team, force Ohio State to regroup.
Wisconsin will get a change. Emma Pichel with speed. She chips it ahead to the red line. Now they gain the zone, but they can't control. Ava Murphy going D to D, sending it over to Shayla Edwards. And now here's O'Brien. O'Brien's got some numbers with her. Layla Edwards loses it, but then drops it back off. Here's Kirsten Sims.
See some bobbled pucks there. First Layla Edwards and Kirsten Sims. Both sophomores, but experienced, been here before, and that's the nerves that Mark Johnson was talking about. It's the big game. Obviously, they don't want to make mistakes. Hockey's a game of mistakes. How do you prevent them from being a game changer?
There's a long shot towards McNaughton. Ava Murphy will skate this one out of her zone. She sends it ahead. Gets it up to neutral ice. Sloan Matthews will quickly wheel that one right back around, and Shayla Edwards is giving chase, but Harvey will get it first. Aaron Puck. Bilka's coming in on it for Ohio State. Wisconsin will collect as the Buckeyes go off for a change. On the move, this is Lacey Eden. She throws it down below the goal line, and she gives chase. Here's Britta Curl, takes it in, the captain with the shot, and Reagan Kirk will cover it up as it was a bit of a dangerous play with some Wisconsin Badgers coming in on her. We continue on here at the National Championship. It's the first time in 20 years that we have a rematch in the national final, and this is why. Wisconsin, Kirsten Sims with the game winner as a freshman to take it 1-0 over Ohio State. So you better believe those Buckeyes are looking for a little revenge. And let's head down to Dana Boyle ringside.
These are two heavyweights punching back and forth at each other, and it's going to be more mentally taxing. Both teams are very physical, and this is a respectable rivalry between these two teams. Wisconsin definitely has more of a legacy, and for Ohio State, they're the sexy new nightclub, according to Dean Muzaral, and Ohio State, they're still building their legacy. There's a swagger between these two teams, but certainly no love lost.
You know, it's interesting. Nadine Muzaral actually told the three of us that she wants her team to have more swagger. She's like, well, this is the third year in a row we've been #1. We should go out and act like it. She says Muz got some good swagger herself. She's trying to have her team carry it on. She has been phenomenal for this program and what she's been able to do for them.
This is an all WCHA national championship, and both these teams have incredible programs, but we do want to make mention when it comes to Wisconsin, 7 national titles. That is a record. There's a long shot from the point, but it's blocked in front. Harvey will pick it up. She sends it down low, and Eden's on it. Eden drops it back. This is Britta Curl. She sends it around. Now back up top to Jungles. Jungles will send it low. Can't quite get it to go, and the puck will leave and heads out to center ice. And Jen Gardner, the captain for the Buckeyes, will just slap it down, and McNaughton will elect to cover. So the national championship matchup, and when it comes to these two teams, this is their 6th meeting of the season. Ohio State does hold the edge 3-2, but it has been the Wisconsin Badgers who have won the last 2 contests, including the WCHA championship game by a score of 6-3. And AJ, they have gained a lot of confidence from those 2 victories over this Buckeyes team.
They definitely have, and they're peaking at the right time. And Caroline Harvey told us that they have the most confidence that they've had all season right now. You can look at that WCHA final face-off 2 different ways, though. You win 6-3, you gain confidence, but I think for Ohio State, it's also motivating. You know, you look at that, it was a pretty solid, it was a pretty convincing win. And I think for Nadine Muzaral and her team, they want to prove that it was sort of an anomaly.
Here's Layla Edwards back down to Sims. She'll dish it down low to O'Brien as the top line for Wisconsin is out and in action. Bumped off the puck. Hadley Hartman tries to bang it off the boards and out and just gets to neutral ice, but quickly back in, and it's onside. This is Sims. Sims drops it back, but no one there in a red sweater to cash.
Great play there on the blue line by Layla Edwards. Confident too. Again, senior between two sophomores right there, but Edwards does a good job with a little touch. Instead of dumping it in deep, she puts it in the middle. And we talk about swagger too, and that's something Mark Johnson, everyone talks about how understated he is, which he is, incredibly humble for all his accomplishments. But he has that quiet confidence too that certainly comes through for his Wisconsin Badgers.
Shayla Edwards fans on that puck, but now they will get it up to the red line and just overskated there by Maddie Wheeler. Riley Bregman fires this one down towards McNaughton. Tough little bounce there, and she'll cover up. The NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championship is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, you can go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships and the selection show for the men's tournament coming up today after our big championship game.
It's John Buchgrass, Colby Cohen, and Andrew Raycroft will have you guys covered for that selection show following the crowning of the women's champion.
Nothing like a little college hockey Sunday here on the networks of ESPN. 8 minutes gone here in the first period. Still no goal yet in this game between two high-octane teams. Both teams average over 5 goals per game. But AJ, I'm not sure we're expecting to see that kind of offense here today between these two teams. I feel like it'll be a little bit more quiet.
Well, honestly, a year ago, I remember coming to this game with the same sort of identity for both these teams, and it ended up being a low offense, a 1-0 win, as you mentioned earlier. So, but it goes to show that despite their nation-leading offense on these teams, they also have incredible defense. Great goaltenders, but great team defense. So it's amazing to see when they're playing on both sides. We talked about the top line for Ohio State, incredible plus-minus numbers.
Britta Curl sends us up to Jungle. She takes the shot at ricocheted in front. Once again, Zanin putting her body in the line. Wheeling around, it's Eden. She tried for the wraparound. She's knocked off the puck as she's being held up by Bregman. Ohio State will bang this one off the boards, gets it out to neutral ice. And here's an opportunity for the Buckeyes. They just lose the handle. McNaughton will cover as Gardner was coming in.
4 block shots, too, for Ohio State, and Wisconsin working the puck around from low to high, and it comes up. And that shot, of course, makes it go high. It's Kiara Zanin again. This is the one we watched. Ooh, that's gonna. It gets her pad, but there is certainly some holes in your pad that can hit and not feel very good. But you know what feels better? Natty Champ.
Ohio State with 4 block shots so far in this period. Up ahead, Sims looking to corral, but she's knocked off by Buglioni. Buglioni inside the line. She takes the shot. It's just wide.
That looked close.
Puck now here on the near side. Gardner tries to center. There's another shot. Rattled off the stick of Kayla Barnes as the defenseman was active. Kayla Barnes with a career-high 34 points this season. She's ready and willing to engage in the offense when needed. We'll have a whistle for icing, so we will bring this one back down to Ohio State zone.
Wisconsin had their top line out there, and Wisconsin does not have the last change as the lower seed here, but the icing call, they can put out who they want and goes with this third line, see what they can do, maybe wear them away and come back with their high octane.
We'll have a quick whistle on the play. 10.5 here to go in the first period between the number 1 and number 2 seeds in the nation with a national championship on the line. Look there at Shayla Edwards, the defenseman for the Badgers. As Dana filled us in earlier, playing alongside her sister Layla, looking to capture another national title together. And for the Badgers, trying to repeat. It would be the first repeat champion since Clarkson did it back in 2017 and 2018. Maddie Wheeler, she takes a slap at this to get it below the goal line and follows up on it. Loose puck in the corner. But it is Ohio State that skates away with it. Hadley Hartman's on the move. The defenseman gains the line, slides it across to Bilka. There's a long shot by Matthews, save McNaughton. Harvey calmly collects and takes that out. The captain, Britta Curl, taken down at the red. Play continues on. This is Cassie Hall for the Badgers. She's wheeling in, puts it out front. What a great opportunity that would have been if they could have been able to connect there. Badgers continue to work away. Just under 9.5 to play here in the first. And the Pichelle sends it ahead to Olivia Mobley.
Good read there by KK Harvey. Got herself in the right body position so that Mobley couldn't go in uncontested.
Log jam along the boards. The puck will pop loose. Bernard behind her own net, and she'll let things collect out in front as she's chased out. Bryant keeping her company. McNaughton plays this puck up to Layla Edwards. She sends it ahead. This is Casey O'Brien. Puck now just inside the line as Ohio State gives chase. Kenzie Hosworth working away on the far side. But the Buckeyes will quickly get a change. And here comes Edwards once again, trying to find her way into the zone. Barnes looking to pin her against the wall. But Gardner will set it down for Bernard, and right back on the stick of Gardner as the captain sends it ahead and puts it all the way down into Wisconsin zone. Ava Murphy first on it, over to Shayla Edwards. Overskating it, here goes Matthews, couldn't get the shot off, but the follow-up, and now on the stick of Barnes. Barnes puts it down below the goal line. Gardner looking back to Barnes, but that was intercepted with an active stick by Kelly Gorbatenko. Another shot by the Badgers, and it'll be knocked, by the Buckeyes, and we knocked out a play. Well, play continues on here. We await the game's first goal. It is 0-0 here at the National Championship.
Welcome back to the Whittemore Center. I'm with Wisconsin head coach Mark Johnson. Coach, we're about 3/4 of the way through the first period. How would you assess your team's play?
I think both teams are sort of feeling each other out. Nobody's really taking any risk at this point. Everybody's trying to manage the puck pretty well. So I don't know what the next 8 minutes looks like, but we're in a good space right now. I like our energy level, and I like the way we're protecting the puck. So
thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
Mark Johnson has his team on a roll, as we see Nadine Mazeral giving her team a few talking points, but when it comes to this Wisconsin team, they have been on quite the heater. They've won 7 straight games and outscored their opponents 34-12 in that time. AJ, they're 21-1.
It's crazy when you look at that. It's
Christmas, I should say.
It's Christmas, yes. Yeah. But still, I mean, that is a heater, and we were asking Mark about that the other day during media day, and he said, I know, I just saw that. But how do you not know that? I mean, that's a lot of wins.
Their only loss coming to Ohio State in that time. Here's Barnes, takes the shot, doesn't get through the layers, and Curl will bring it out.
You know you're used to winning when that doesn't seem like a big deal, big enough deal to remember.
Cassie Hall will shovel this one ahead. Eden's in on it for the Badgers. She's pinned up along the boards on the far side, deep in the corner. Puck will come loose. Jocelyn Amos sends it across. This is Joy Dunn, the Rookie of the Year in the NCAA and the Buckeyes' leading goal scorer. She was offside, but she's got 23 on a season, potting one in the national semifinal against Clarkson.
Yeah, she's been incredible for them as a freshman, and of course comes in third Dunn sister to come to Ohio State. Her sister Jessica graduated in 2018. Her sister Jinsey graduated in 2020. A couple older brothers too. Five of them, or
there's six altogether.
Yeah, all start with the letter J.
It's gonna be a nightmare around the kitchen table for their parents trying to remember all those names. But what a talented family. Buglione will drop it off, and here comes Mobley. Tries to get the shot off. Sims will spin it around for the Badgers, sends it across for Layla Edwards. She gains the line.
Great
quickly
poke
knocked
there.
off.
Hadley Hartmetz, good place. Good job stepping right at her own blue line too. He whistle blew. They thought the top hit the top of the goal there, glass there rather. Came down a little on a funky bounce. But, you know, you look at these D, what they're trying to do is close the gap and step up defend their blue line, and that's going to be harder and harder as this game goes on. You can take a look. That's Ava McNaughton, all smiles still, which is great when you've got a freshman, 6-foot-tall freshman in the net right now. Looked pretty good in her semifinal, first ever Frozen Four game.
That she has. She's looked really good so far in the NCAA tournament, as she did share the net for the majority of the season with Jane Gervais, but when it came the one and done time, Mark Johnson said, I just went with my gut, and so far it has paid off. Here's Marianne Picard. She'll wheel it around her own net. She's being watched. Puck will pop out into neutral territory. But right back on the stick of Sloan Matthews, who will shovel it in. Shayla Edwards advances the puck ahead. Just gets outside the zone, but quickly right back to the glove of McNaughton.
Ooh, little McNaughton trying to sweep the puck, hooked on her glove hair there. A little dangerous.
And here's a move. Picard's on it, coming down. She'll take the shot, and Kirk with the save.
Wisconsin, look at both these teams looking for the odd man rush. It seems to be a very evenly played game. You can see there's a Picard coming in and really good back pressure. You watch the way that all the players in white retreating to the middle of the ice, sticks in good position, forcing an outside shot. It's an easy save for Reagan Kirk.
So off the draw, it will be done. She gains the zone. 5'11" Frankfurt, not afraid to drive to the net. Put that shoulder down. She says oftentimes, too, she can draw a penalty from it as she continues to battle away. Hall will come away with the puck over to Jungles, who will flip it ahead. Just under 5.5 to play here in the first period at the National Championship, as Reagan Kirk will cover up. She had some red sweaters crashing in on her.
I mean, that's an underrated and subtle skill for these goalies. It's how they read a game. When do you need to whistle? When can you play it? Obviously, you want to keep. We saw that. It's, you know, they're maybe looking sometimes to play the puck out when the refs are looking to blow the whistle. So they can certainly help their team out, recognize when they're pinned in their D zone and they really need some fresh legs. It's a critical part of their role.
Reagan Kirk, a senior from St. Anne, Manitoba, playing in her first Frozen Four.
Just like to get in the Manitobans.
Well, you know, you got to give it to the homegirls, right? She might be in her first Frozen Four, but 9 of the 23 players. Oh, here's a quick one. Badgers intercept it, put it right out front, but it will be Webster that collects, and she speeds out. Webster shovels this one ahead, looking for Gardner, drops it back. Gardner was just out of position, unfortunately, for the Buckeyes.
Great, that's a great example of how good defense by McKenna Webster, by the Ohio State Buckeyes, can lead to good offense. Really quick transition by number 8 in white.
Gardner sends it across. Here comes Matthews. Matthews with some speed. Matthews weaving in, takes the shot high, and it looks like McNaughton got a little piece of it. Mobley will hold it in at the line, but here's Ava Murphy on it for the Badgers. 4.5 to go here in the first. Leah Hextall alongside AJ Malesko, and Dana Boyle is ringside for us today. Maddie Wheeler wheeling in. She's being watched by Hartman. It's right behind the net. Looking to center. She does. No one's there, and it'll go to Mobley, who will clear it. We'll have an icing on the play, so we will bring it back. With just 4:10 to play here in the opening frame.
Both these teams getting their opportunities, but you can see neither of them, there's not a lot of risk right now. Not looking for the high risk, high reward plays, and just trying to shovel pucks in, see if they can get the equalizer, just keep pressure on, test these goalies out, test the defensemen out, both these teams are fast.
Ohio State leading in the shot department, 8-5.
Well, Ohio State has every single one of their games this year, they've outshot their opponents.
So it's a theme, is what you're telling me, AJ. We'll see if that theme continues on when we return to the national championship. So Wisconsin defense doing its job at the moment.
Yeah, look at how tightly packed they are. The red jerseys, you can see how close they are to each other. Really good team defense. It's incredibly hard for the other team, for Ohio State, to find the passing lanes. You can see maybe they're not getting the puck out of the zone, but all these shots that we talked about, the block shots for Ohio State, but you've also got the stick position and how difficult it is. That's great coaching from Mark Johnson.
And Dana, what do you have to add on to that?
And listening to Mark Johnson, the Wisconsin head coach, debrief their win against Colgate, he liked the way they defended. He said, we protect the house, which means being active, blocking shots, having sticks in the lane, and that goes a long way, those little things in a national championship game when both teams are so talented on either side of the puck.
And you also look at that, really helps your goaltender out. You're keeping the shots outside. Obviously, if it gets in too close as a defender, you don't want to tip it in. But if those shots aren't getting through, that's very helpful.
Caroline Harvey with the shot, but Kirk will gobble it up. And in the previous 5 games versus each other this season, only once was there a first period where it was scoreless.
Yeah, and here's KK Harvey, the defenseman, coming in, sophomore, recently named first-team All-American, one of 3 Wisconsin Badgers, and good job by her coming in. She's a left shot. She's able to rip it because her stick's on the inside, and Kirk gives no second chance opportunity. That's always difficult when you've got a defenseman that can be that active, that mobile, get up and create offense.
Caroline Harvey, an Olympic silver medalist. She's also won a gold medal in the World Championships in 2023.
And she's a local product. Some of her childhood in Massachusetts, currently hometown Salem, New Hampshire. So she's got a good crew here in Durham, New Hampshire to cheer on the Badgers.
She was telling Dana yesterday that she even had driver ed instructors here watching her play. So she got a big response when they were introducing the starting lineup after we saw a big hit there in collision at neutral ice.
I'm not sure I even would know who my driver's ed instructor is. I mean, I'm a lot older, but.
Quickly picked up. Kenzie Hosworth has it on the far side. She's being watched by Lainey Potter. Puck pops right back out, but a block there by Layla Edwards, and Wisconsin will just turn it around. There's the long shot. Pardon me. Kirk will have it right in her glove.
We saw some great physical games on Friday in the semifinal, and here's some more of it here today. No surprise. I did think the first 10 minutes wasn't as physical as I expected. We were talking about them feeling each other out. Nobody wants to take a first penalty early on, but that's some good physicality, especially coming through the neutral zone, and more like a collision, so no call.
2:38 left to play here in the first.
It's one of the great things, actually. Look at women's hockey and the physicality of it, that PWHL, the new women's league, is very physical, and that's one of the things the players wanted. Let us play a little bit more.
Zandon was wheeling around for Ohio State. Jocelyn Amos tying up the puck on the far side. Now it'll pop free, and Amos tries to come away with it, but she's knocked off of it. A little bit of a chippy play there as they send it down, and Kirk will come out to play. Quick fire right up. Could have been dangerous.
Almost too many men there.
Vivian Jungles has Joy Dunn on her, but Wisconsin will send it all the way down to the stick of Kirk once again. Kirk being a little bit more active in her play than we saw on Friday, coming out here a couple times in this first period to play the puck, giving some good assists to her teammates. And here's Bilka. She works her way in. Puck is cleared out of the zone. A minute and a half into the first. Paschal puts that straight away. But it's sent right back to the red line, but quickly collected by Matthews. Matthews on the move, looking to cut in. She's held up behind the net, continues to work away. Dunn puts it back up top. Hartmans over to Paschal. Paschal's shot blocked in front. Curl, the captain, will collect for Wisconsin and begins out. A minute left here in this first period. Aaron's stick in the Buckeyes' end. Hartmans. Quick little pass, sends it ahead. McKenna Webster giving chase. She's going up against Lainey Potter, who will send it around to Anna Wilgren. Wilgren's pass can't exit the zone. Final 30 seconds of this first period. Almost a nice break there for Layla Edwards, but couldn't get it going with 27 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, good chances both ways. You saw Jocelyn Amos along the wall there, there she is right there, trying to create that chance. It's the wall battles. Those are the subtle things, the important little details that are going to come down to a championship caliber team. Who's going to win the neutral zone? Who's going to win the one-on-one battles along the wall?
Jocelyn Amos, 15 goals on the season, 30 points for Ohio State. Potter follows it up, and Layla Edwards will send this one ahead as the Badgers continue to work away. This is Sims. She's always dangerous. She's taken down on the boards. Fans wanted a bit of a call, not going to get one.
No, I think that's a good non-call. It looked more like a collision. I thought she sort of caught an edge, but yes, of course, Wisconsin fans would like the advantage.
And there it is, 20 minutes in the books.
Yeah, you know, evenly matched first period. I'm exactly what we expected. Good chances at both ends, good defense, good shots, and I'm looking forward to the next 20. And it's going to be, obviously, they got to ramp it up a little bit, see what's going to happen. How can they break through? Who's going to be the one that gets the first goal to break the seal?
With 20 minutes in the book, no score in the first period of the national championship. And with that, we will send it to our studio crew. Arda Ocal, Angela Ruggiero, and Paige will have all the insight from the first period.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, ice bath still to me is amazing, but you do it regardless. And the fact that the sports science people, and they did say, by the way, the head coaches don't have access to that. So they don't treat them differently based on their recovery, based on how they slept. It's the sports science team that looks at it and helps them. And it's certainly an interesting tool.
Ricky Joy Dunn saying you can tell when you're going to get sick. It'll tell you before it happens. So the data is there, as is the science, but what a tool.
I know, it feels a little bit like Big Brother.
There's a long shot. It'll be turned aside by McNaughta. It might have hit the post there, and nothing but smiles by Jocelyn Amos as she was streaming in for Ohio State.
Yeah, you know, it's good look right there. Amos was looking over her shoulder, seeing who she had with her. She did have Hannah Bilko behind her. Good job by her. A pass is, what are you gonna, when you pass, you're looking for somebody who's maybe in a better scoring position than you. Nobody was, so good job by Amos. Shot goes up, and you could hear it ding off the crossbar, and some smiles there. She knew she had a chance.
Off the draw, Wisconsin collects, and they'll send it ahead. Hadley Hartmutz works it back into Wisconsin's end, and Ava McNaughton will cover it up for the whistle.
Yeah, you got to imagine both these coaches trying to do what they can to motivate their team, and the balance for all of them, both the players and the coaching staff, is to keep that very precarious balance of making sure they recognize the weight and the heaviness and how important this game is, with also keeping the regularity of it. They've had great regular seasons. How do they keep the mundane? This is what you do every day. Don't get wowed by the moment.
Wisconsin looking to outlet this one out. Now they do. Cassie Hall only gets to neutral ice before it's turned around. It's onside. McKenna Webster sends it across, looking to connect with Jenna Buglioni, but they couldn't get it to go. And quickly, here comes the Badgers. This is the captain. Britta Curl takes the shot, and Reagan Kirk turns it aside.
Good job. Britta Curl has certainly been noticeable. We talk a lot about that top line for Wisconsin, which is the O'Brien, Edwards, Sims line, but Cassie Hall plays between Britta Curl and Lacey Eden. Britta Curl, the only player for the Badgers that wears a letter, no A's. She is just the sole captain, and Mark Johnson said she's earned it. She is just an incredible leader. They have a great leadership group, but that Britta Curl stands alone.
Jordan Baxter tries to bang that one out of her own end, and it'll come back to the stick of Wisconsin's Shayla Edwards, who just sends it down below the line. Lauren Bernard on it for the Buckeyes as she's taken down alongside the boards. A minute and a half gone here in the second period, still looking for the national championship's first goal. And there's a quick shot. McNaughton with a nice save as it was coming off the stick of the defenseman, Riley Bringman.
You know, we talked a little bit earlier about KK Harvey joining on the back end. How about Riley Bringman here? From the D zone, she recognizes that she can make it a 4-on-2. There's some back pressure from Wisconsin, but there's Bringman on the right side of your screen. She takes the shot. Really good decision by her, and not very risky. As a defenseman, obviously, defense comes first, but you can create some odd man rushes if you're able to hop on that and jump on that quick.
Quickly on it, here's Hannah Bilka. She's being worked on by Ava Murphy behind the net. Here's Bilka right out in front. Backhand shot of McNaughton, and she'll hold. And here's our next National Women's Soccer League NWSL game, the season opener for the New Jersey and New York Rockland to take on the Portland Thorns at Providence Park. Coverage begins tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN+. So nearly 2 minutes gone here in the second period. No score yet in the National Championship. Layla Edwards will move it up for the Badgers. It gets to the red line as they streak in. Casey O'Brien was tied up by Kayla Barnes, and quickly the Buckeyes will move this one ahead. And interesting, Casey O'Brien and Kirsten Sims, the top 2 scorers in the nation, didn't have a single shot in the first period.
2 of the 3, Patty Kazmaier top 3. It went to Izzy Daniel from Cornell, which is the first. They've had schools have the top 2 of the top 3 or all 3 in the past, and usually that school takes home the hardware, but the anomaly this year. That congrats to Izzy Daniel, 2024 Patty Kazmaier Memorial Award winner. Very exciting for her and the whole Cornell team.
Emma Pichel from her own end almost loses the handle as she was being watched by Sims, putting pressure on her, but she will send it ahead to Buglioni. Jenna Buglioni cutting in from the wing. She follows it up, and the rolling puck right into the pads of Ava McNaughton.
We were just talking about the Patty Kaz. It was awarded right here at the Whittemore Center yesterday. And you see USA Hockey Foundation Award, and those are the 3 winners. Izzy Daniel on the left. There she is with the award. Congratulations again to her. It was aired on the NHL Network, and our friend Jamie Hirsch did the honors of hosting it. So it was an exciting time, and handed out by Brandy Fisher, the first ever Patty Kazmaier winner back in 1998.
And AJ Malesko, a Patty Kazmaier winner in 1999, the same year that she won a national championship with Harvard. So her name is etched in stone on the Patty Kaz Award.
Exciting. It was a new award back then, so it's really got a great legacy now. I'm honored and thrilled and humbled to be a part of it, and looking at the long list of names that have come after me. It's a great job by USA Hockey Foundation to create that award.
Puck fired in, McNaughton out to play. Over 3.5 gone here in the second period. Wisconsin looking to turn this one ahead and get it out of their own end, but it's held up on the far side as there's a battle for it. It pops loose to Cassie Hall, who will wheel it around to Anna Wilgren, and she just fires it ahead. Britta Curl will knock it down, and play continues on. Back into Ohio State zone.
Great job by Britta Kroll right there. Really smart play, not touching the puck. Offside, would have gone all the way down as a deliberate offside, and intentional offside rather, and but she tracks it. Smart play.
AJ, we heard Badgers head coach Mark Johnson say that he was expecting these teams to settle in. Do you feel here in the second period that the nerves are gone a bit here and we're settling down?
Yeah, I do imagine there are going to be waves of momentum both ways for both teams. These are both phenomenally skilled, great, really well-coached teams. So, and there's going to be
out in front, slides across the paint.
There you go. Yeah, bursts of urgency. Right now, it does feel like they've settled into a bit of a rhythm.
Here's Dunn. She sends it down below the line. Bilka will collect. She centers it right out in front, and McNaughton forced to be sharp as she covers the puck, and we have a few greeting cards around the goaltender for the Badgers.
Yeah, you know, we were talking before about the Badgers, and right now Ohio State's out shooting them in this period 5-1. And the Wisconsin Badgers do a pretty good job of staying close. Right here in this play, they get a little spread out, and that allows, it's a really, really good job by Ava McNaughton there to get her stick and disrupt the pass coming in. Otherwise, it was going to be a direct pass in front. They got away a little bit from that D-zone structure, and Ohio State almost capitalized.
So far, Ohio State out shooting Wisconsin in this period. 5-1 advantage. Murphy will send this one ahead to Sims. She goes cross-ice looking for Layla Edwards, who gets a stick on it and will give chase. Michaela Barnes is on it first, and Markowski will push it up. Gardner sends that ahead. She was looking for Buglioni, and Buglioni crashing in on McNaughton, so she'll cover. So as we continue on here in the second period, no score in the national championship between Ohio State and Wisconsin.
Only a few will ever be called champions. Fewer still will repeat. But 4 titles in 5 years, that's called a dynasty. We are Wisconsin, this is our time. Again.
But will it be again is the question as Mark Johnson, AJ, looks to lead his squad to back-to-back championships here for the repeat.
I mean, look at those numbers. Those are incredible numbers for Wisconsin. They've been at seven titles, but they've been to this championship game 11 times. So 7-3 record. They've been to the Frozen Four 15 times, tied for first with the Golden Gophers from Minnesota. 3 titles in the last 4 years. It is an incredible dynasty that Mark Johnson has built.
And the WCHA well represented when it comes to national titles as there's a quick shot followed up by Vivian Jungles, just went right over the net.
Yeah, Clarkson, the only non-WCHA team. They've won 3 times, and otherwise it has been all Western.
Dunn working her way along the far side. She sends it across. Pichel takes the long shot, doesn't get through the layers. It was blocked in front. The Badgers will lift it up and out. So far in the second period, Ohio State has had the majority of the chances over this Badgers team. Here's Layla Edwards trying to make a move. She sends it back up top, but the errant point, and they'll be forced to retreat the zone. 6 minutes gone here in 2. Still no score. Kirk out to play. She sends it around the boards, just out of the reach of Pichel, and it's sent right back in, but O'Brien couldn't get a stick on it. Around the boards, give and chase. Jungles does a good job to keep that one in at the line. She'll fire it down. Caroline Harvey, the defenseman, pinching way in. And now that puck will head back. And Jen Gardner for the Buckeyes giving chase. Puck continues on. Picard sends it across ice to Wheeler. Bouncy puck, and Kirk will glove it down and hold on.
Good job there by Reagan Kirk to control the puck. It was bouncing. She comes out to make sure it's one less bounce that she has to control, and then protects herself. Has the puck in her glove, but she gets her stick up. And, you know, it's a tough one because you want the defenseman to protect your goalie too, but sometimes the goalies have to make sure they're not too vulnerable.
That was Wisconsin's first shot on net in over 6 minutes here in the second period. Bernard will just rattle it off the board and send it ahead. Britta Curl's on it. The captain for the Badgers sends it cross ice. Foot race to the puck. Lainey Potter gets there first for Wisconsin. They'll send it ahead. Eden drops it back as she's got Hall with her. Forced to exit the zone, and now Bernard will let things collect in front of her. Here comes Dunn. Dunn just inside the line, cutting in. She's knocked off the puck, but here's Bilka. She takes the shot, but it's blocked in front by Curl.
Another great block there.
Eden sends this one down low as the Badgers will get a change. Stephanie Markowski sends it ahead for Ohio State, the transfer from Clarkson. Spent 4 years with the program before coming over to the Buckeyes. Barnes sends this one ahead, but Murphy will quickly spin it around and send it back out as we have a collision on the far side. Markowski being watched by Wheeler as these two teams continue to go back and forth. With just under 12 minutes to play here in the second period.
It's a wide open game right now, but different than the way both games felt on Friday. The semifinals were a little different in terms of the way those teams played. These two teams are pretty similar, both very deep.
Kenzie Hodsworth on it on the far side. Murphy now for Wisconsin in the corner. She sends it ahead, loose puck. It's collected by Matthews. Matthews trying to make a move, but she's being hounded. Sloan Matthews with a game-winning goal in the national semifinal. Always a dangerous player out on the ice for this Buckeyes team. Jungles wheels this one back. She sends it across to Harvey, and she'll just fire it down. Oh, and here's a turnover just behind the net of Kirk. This is Sims. She'll drop it back. Back on the stick of Sims. She takes the long shot with traffic in front. Save made by Kirk. And play continues on.
Probably the toughest save she's seen just because of that traffic that you mentioned in front of her and not being able to see it, and the bouncing puck. Tracks it well.
Edwards on the far side, sends it to the line for Jungles. Jungles taking a look. She drops it back. Here's Harvey. Harvey fires it. Another block shot, this time by Dunn of Ohio State.
Well, Harvey had Edwards on the far side. Edwards trying to come for a change, so she was tired, but she had her back door.
10.5 to play here in the second. Wisconsin starting to come. Working away in the corner, coming away with it. Hedley Hartnett, but play continues on. Now right out in front. Reagan Kirk was looking to make the poke check, couldn't connect. And here's Britta Curl. Curl, she's wheeling around to the high slot. She'll fire it. Once again, it's blocked, this time by Matthews. Right at the side of the net, put it back up top. Anna Wilgren floats it towards the battle in front. And Kirk was down, but play continues on here for Wisconsin. Another shot, another block, and Ohio State will alleviate the pressure.
Wisconsin is feeling it. Those were great saves by Reagan Kirk, but also a ton of help. We got an injured Ohio State player in their D zone.
So that looks to be Hedley Hartnett on the ground for Ohio State.
Didn't exactly see what happened. She was trying to get off on her own power and couldn't quite make it. Jenna Buglioni.
The defender now up, being escorted off the ice. So Hedley Hartnett's looking to be in discomfort as she's escorted off the ice. Nadine Muzerall collecting her group as we have 9.5 to play here in the second. And it wasn't icing, so we will bring the face-off back into the Wisconsin zone. And play will continue on. Once again, shot from the point, couldn't get through. Lainey Potter tries to get it out of the Badgers zone. She does, but it's quickly fired back down. Wilgren on it. Badgers shovel it ahead. McKenna Webster, she throws it in front. Wilgren looking to connect, but can't get it to go, so it'll be an icing, and we will bring this one back.
Take a look at what happened to Hedley Hartnett. Came off the ice in some serious discomfort, and there's her, oh gosh, you can just see the wincing on her face. Looks like her right leg went down in the way it wasn't supposed to, so let's wish her the best and hope that it's nothing serious and she gets to come back out.
It went down awkward up against the captain for Wisconsin, Britta Curl. 9 minutes to go here in the second period. Here's Bilka on the backhand, puts it down low.
What a great pass by Bilka.
She was looking for Jocelyn Amos. Ohio State will fire this one down. It'll be an icing call, so we will bring it back down.
Interesting to look at these two teams. We've talked a lot about the transfers into Ohio State. McKenna Webster is in her second year at Ohio State. She actually spent 2 years at Wisconsin as a freshman, won the NCAA championship with Wisconsin, got the most valuable player award for that tournament, comes back and plays one more year. They don't make the Frozen Four, but then comes back, plays with Ohio State, loses to Wisconsin last year, and here she is back against her old team again.
Riley Bringman on it for Ohio State, sends it over to Stephanie Markowski. She's being watched by O'Brien, who's crashing in on her. Puck heads out to center line. Shayla Edwards takes a look. She'll put it up to Sims. Sims, she has numbers with her. She sends it across, just out of the reach of O'Brien, but here's Edwards. Sends it down low. O'Brien puts the puck on net, just wide. Now here at the side is Layla Edwards. She'll shovel it around up top to the blue line on the far side. Bit of miscommunication there by Murphy and Sims as it ricocheted off Sims' body and heads all the way back to Wisconsin zone. Under 8 to go here in the second period. Leah Hextall, AJ Malesko, and Dana Boyle with you here at the National Championship. Ohio State buzzing in, takes the shot, turned aside by McNaughton.
Sort of a slow developing play. A little bit of a change up there by Kenzie Houseworth. Good play. Smart.
Back here at the line, the floater in. McNaughton pads it aside, followed by the rebound, and there's a backhand coming off of the stick of Kiara Zanin. The Buckeyes with a few great opportunities in Wisconsin zone. With just over 7 minutes to play here in the second. Wheeler will float this one below the Buckeyes goal line. And crashing in. Here's Wheeler. She's being watched as she tries to get the centering pass out, but play will continue on along the near side boards. Harvey with a long shot. It's gloved down by Reagan Kirk. As play continues on here in the second period, under 7 minutes to go, we're still waiting for the game's first goal with the national championship on the line. Center for the national title game between the #1 seed Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the #2 seed and defending champion Wisconsin Badgers. We're still waiting the game's first goal. So far, Ohio State winning the shot battle 16-12 over the Badgers. As the Badgers try to repeat as champions for the first time since 2017-2018, but standing in their way is Ohio State. We'll head down to Dana Boyle, who's with the Buckeyes head coach, Nadine Mazeral.
Thanks, Leah. Coach, how do you best describe your team's momentum here in the second period?
I think they're being very smart with how we're playing, understanding the second period with the line changes. We're being very cautious of that so we don't have bad transitions. I do like how we're controlling in the offensive zone and creating walks off the wall. Just got to vary one.
Can you share anything about the injury with Hadley Hartman?
I know nothing at this time.
Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hadley Hartman's being escorted off the ice as she was in a collision behind her own net with Badgers captain Britta Curl.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And see a graduate student, her last kick at the can, and she was in serious pain when she seemed to be, according to her face, looked like she was in pain.
And AJ, that'll put a little bit more pressure on Ohio State's defense.
Yeah, absolutely. You go from 6 down to 5, and they certainly have some experience back there. And you know, we've talked a lot about the different people. You got Kayla Barnes, a 2-time Olympian back there. First Frozen Four, first opportunity at this specific title. Only one NCAA game so far in her collegiate history, and that was actually a loss to Ohio State when she played for Boston College. So this is a little bit different. She has the pressure of transferring into Ohio State, particularly for this opportunity right here. But yes, for all of them, they're going to get a little bit more ice time.
Jenna Buglioni taken down on the play.
No call. That was. You know, I like that they're letting him play as long as it makes sure it goes both ways. That's always the toughest if it's not consistent. But let him play.
Here's Curl now. She sends it for Hall. Little redirect, and Kirk managed to get a piece of it with her pad. Puck will head the length of the ice, and Caroline Harvey's back on it. It's an icing. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the second.
You know, talking about Ohio State with somebody like Kayla Barnes, there she is, and her first chance here. But you just look at the way they've got a very old team. They've got graduate students, right? They have, of course, this is their second to last year of that 5th COVID year, but 9 of the 23 on their roster were national champs 2 years ago. But in 10 of them, this is their first Frozen Four ever. So there's a big turnover when you've got kids that are coming out, and then now with the transfer portal open within the NCAA in every sport, there's a little bit more turnover. Players transferring in, players transferring out, so it's not as cut and dry as the same team every year.
Casey O'Brien off the draw wins that long shot from the point. O'Brien now 11 for 14 in the circle today. Markowski first on it for the Buckeyes. She mishandles. O'Brien in pressuring her, and this is Sims. Sims puts it back up top. Potter sends it down low. And Reagan Kirk will decide to hang on to this one for the whistle. We'll get another draw.
Wisconsin's putting on the pressure. Smart play there by Reagan Kirk. Slow it down a little bit, break some of the momentum with Wisconsin, get a face-off. Maybe they get to change it up here. change the line and see if they can generate a little bit more of their clean breakouts, come through the neutral zone with speed.
Another offensive zone draw win for Wisconsin. There's the shot, and Kirk will gobble it up as it was coming off the stick of Lacey Eden.
Yeah, Reagan Kirk, look at her numbers right there. I mean, second in the nation, leads the nation. It's impressive. And, you know, it was interesting when the three of us were talking with Nadine Muzzerall. Reagan Kirk was the goalie who gave up the 6 goals in the WCHA final face-off, 6-3. And Muzzerall said she wasn't going to pull her. She said, you know, she's got to feel it. She's got to work through it. And then she's had 2 great bounce-back games in both quarterfinal and semifinal here in the NCAA.
She was a finalist for Goaltender of the Year. Curl will put this one up top to Potter. Potter from her knees shovels it down. Maddie Wheeler just throws it towards the net. Curl once again on it. She'll drop it back for Eden. Eden being watched. She tries to center it. Couldn't connect with Wheeler. Now out in front. But Bilko will collect it for the Buckeyes.
Good composure by Bilko. She could just chip it out, but she knows she's got the confidence to carry it.
Bilko with some speed, gains the zone. She's moving on in. She has Dunn with her. Dunn out in front, but she loses the handle of it as she wheels around. Emma Pichelle. She takes the shot, blocked in front, doesn't get through to McNaughton, but McNaughton will battle and she'll cover it up. And we have a few bodies being thrown around by the Wisconsin net. These two teams continue to go back and forth. On the line, a national championship. So far this season, this is the 6th meeting between the two teams. It's the longest scoreless game between both of them. And we saw Wisconsin win the national championship against Ohio State last year. It was a 1-0 game, and so far shaping up, AJ, to be very similar here today.
Well, and despite the 4-1 and 3-1 scores on Friday, in the semifinals, they were both tight games until late. Both of them included an empty net goal. So, you know, these teams are, they can win anyway. Either of these teams have high offense, no question about it. We talked about their high offense scoring 5+ goals a game, but they also know that they can win in any different way. They're willing to lock it down. So the longer this game goes on, the more important that first goal becomes.
4:19 to go here in the second period. Britta Curl will chip this one into Ohio State's zone. She will continue to give chase. But back on it was Kayla Edwards as she was tripped up.
Yeah, Kayla Barnes wanted a call on that one. She was right in front of the linesman, but not to be.
In a race for it once again, now here at center line, just wrapped in by Pichal. And as you mentioned, AJ, it probably would be a player like Kayla Barnes who's going to be making up some of those minutes that are going to be needed to, since Hedley Hartmutz was escorted off here in this period.
Yeah, and you know, you've got Riley Brengman right there, got a real offensive flair. She jumps into the play. She can create a lot, and that's really hard for the defensive team when you've got somebody coming off the point. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to do that because they're down a defenseman, and Hadley Hartmutz does play a lot of minutes. And you're absolutely right about Kayla Barnes. She's a nation-leading +70, so she's certainly a defensive stalwart and will be out there quite a bit.
McKenna Webster along the far side, battling away. Now the loose puck behind the net, and KK Harvey will just wheel it around. Markowski steps up on defense for Ohio State to keep it in. Once again, it's just fired right back down, this time by Jenna Bugliani. Badgers begin out, gaining some speed through neutral ice. Bringing it all the way in. They will continue to wheel it around. Now out front. Shot coming off of Kelly Gorbatenko.
What a play by McKenna Webster. Breaks her stick, still trying to use her body position without getting an interference call to give her teammate an opportunity.
Brangman being watched and harassed, but she manages to get the puck out to center line for Ohio State, back into Wisconsin zone. Quickly being turned around. Right in front, a great opportunity for Kristen Sims.
Oh, that's not who you want to have a great opportunity.
Sims continues to work away in the corner. Wilgren holds it in, puts the shot towards the net. Puck ricocheted off of Michelle's skates.
Sims was surprised by that, getting that chance. Leads the nation, 75 points.
Reagan Kirk forced to be very sharp. She got her stick on it as well. Now right out in front, and Kirk with the save as she gets the pads on it, closing the door on Casey O'Brien.
So now the key for Wisconsin is to not get frustrated. They've had some really good chances. They're facing a really hot goaltender. How can they stay the course without gripping their sticks too tightly?
Almost another turnover there for Sims, but they couldn't get it to go, and the Buckeyes just floated in on McNaughton, who will hold on with 1.5 minutes left here in the second.
Yeah, there have been chances at both ends, but these are the most grade A chances. Just a fumble off the wall there, and it's Kirsten Sims. A puck was bouncing, and good play by Kirk to get it out of her way. And then it's Casey O'Brien. Leads the nation in assists, but also second in points with 73, and she does a good job. She tries to actually do what McKenna Webster did the other day for her goal and put it 5-hole, but Reagan Kirk shuts the door. Chances so far right now, Wisconsin up 5-4 in this period for high danger chances.
Harvey sends that one around to the far side. Puck right back in to McNaughton, and she covers it. And Dana, what more do you have for us on Reagan Kirk?
Besides the fact that she has been standing tall in net all tournament long, she had a unique path to Ohio State, a transfer from Robert Morris, and not because she wanted to leave Robert Morris, but because her program got cut. And there's a little bit of a difference in the number of the student body. Robert Morris has about 5,000 students, and Ohio State 66,000. It was kind of a flip of a coin last year whose net it was, and there's no doubt about it. It is Reagan Kirk's net this year.
Yeah, Amanda Thiele was their go-to girl. She was in net for them last year. She's a phenomenal goalie as well, and they have a great relationship as well. I mean, they have a goalie hug at the end of every game. We'll see if we get to stare at the end of every win. See if we see it today.
Gardner fires that towards McNaughton. It's turned aside as we have 1 minute left to play here in the second period. Amos will pick this one up and skates it through, gains the zone. She's got speed, and McKenna Webster with her. Here comes Gardner in, trying to get control of the puck. She shovels it in front. No one there in a white sweater to collect, but once again, almost a dangerous play. Gardner will just fire it right back down in Wisconsin's zone below the line. Vivian Jungles back on it for the Badgers. She fires it ahead. Zanin will shovel this one down for the Buckeyes. Harvey's there to meet it. Loose puck. Buglione's backhand wasn't strong enough to get it out front, and it was intercepted. Wazovic takes the shot. Kirk gets a paddle on it and turns it aside. Dying seconds here in the second period. There'll be a bit of a logjam here up front. It pops loose, and with that, we have 40 minutes in the books. And AJ, we have no goals.
Oh, still zeros on the board. As a broadcaster, I was sort of hoping for like 5-5 going into the third period, but it's still exciting nonetheless because we've had great chances. Wisconsin with 2 grade A right there the last couple minutes, but Reagan Kirk really strong in net, and Ohio State outshot them that period. Ohio State certainly has their opportunities. I think both coaches have to be very pleased with the way this game is played out. They look like they got a lot of energy, great passing, good chances, and 20 miles.
40 minutes in the books, 20 minutes left to decide a national championship. Perhaps, who knows, Arda? We'll have to wait and see. And Reagan Kirk also making her first Frozen Four appearance on Friday, so here she is in her first national title. And away we go here in the third period. Still waiting the game's first goal. The national championship on the line between the top 2 seeds in the country. And here's Jocelyn Amos weaving her way in, takes the shot. McNaughton well out of her crease to challenge, and she'll hold.
Oh, and a little bit of extracurricular there. A little bit of frolicking behind the net by both teams. Great pass coming in. It's one-on-one here, and good job by McNaughton. And Leah, you mentioned it. She's well out of her crease right there because she knows that she's all alone. That's Jocelyn Amos, and there is nobody. McNaughton has a good look right there. There's nobody she can pass the puck to, so she's just got to shut the angle down, and she does it beautifully.
So an early strike opportunity by Ohio State. McNaughton equal to the task, and there's a shot from Dunn as she spins and fires, doesn't get through the traffic in front. And that has been a theme here today. McNaughton will just hold. She gloves it down.
Debating. She looked up, do I play it? She had some heat coming at her from some white jerseys, but good job by McNaughton. And we heard Dana talk all about her. Freshman took over the net from Jane Gervais early on, and through the season they were going back and forth, and really through most of the season into February they were literally going back and forth in terms of the starts.
On the stick of Kayla Barnes. She surveys, sends it cross ice. Jen Gardner. Brangman will try to throw that down. Lauren Bernard. But Barnes is back to get it. Once again, Hadley Hartmetz was escorted off the ice in the second period for Ohio State. So they are down a defender. First minute of play in this third period as we have an offside. So bring the face-off just outside the Ohio State line.
See the top line getting a second line here for Wisconsin coming out and seeing what they can generate. Kenzie Hawthorne has moved into the. It's interesting to see, moved up there in the middle, and Jocelyn Amos off to the left, and with Lacey Eden. So.
Off the draw, Lauren Bernard, the assistant captain for Ohio State, will fire it in. McNaughton out to play the puck. Sloan Matthews continues to battle away. She's knocked off of it. But now right in front to the pad of McNaughton.
Oh, that was dicey. McNaughton tracked it the whole way, but when you've got your defense, and it was Lacey Eden coming in, trying to control the puck, and under pressure from Ohio State, almost bounced right in, just missed wide.
Play continues on. Loose puck here in the corner. Badgers trying to alleviate the pressure from the Buckeyes, but they'll turn this one right around. Here's Sloan Matthews.
Sloan Matthews all alone. Good job, though, taking some time away, letting her fresh leg teammates come out.
Maddie Wheeler. She takes it to the red, and she'll just lift it up and in, and she'll give chase. Barnes sends this one up ice as she advances the puck. Hannah Bilka onside, sends it across. There's the long shot, but just wide of the net. Here's Dunn, utilizing that 5'11" frame of her to work the puck. The first year Rookie of the Year sends it across. Poked away from Stephanie Markowski, and Dunn is back on it.
Great stick there by Wozniewicz.
Once again, here's Amos. She'll shove it aside to Gardner. She takes the shot right to the glove of McNaughton. Tomorrow night on ESPN, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship second round continues, with Syracuse squaring off against UConn, followed by West Virginia taking on Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Then it's Kansas and USC. All games are available on the ESPN app. And if you are a country music fan, you saw Tim McGraw donning Caitlin Clark's sweater at his concert, which I thought was fantastic. I like it, I love it, as they say. Casey O'Brien shovels this one ahead, right back down below the goal line. Buglioni is on it. And here's the captain for Ohio State, Gardner, working away in the corner, trying to put it back up top, but it's lifted up and out of the zone. 3 minutes gone here in the third period. Scoreless.
3 minutes that have been dominated by the Buckeyes, just based on a zone possession. Both teams are having a tough time getting strong grade A chances.
Buglioni on the move, takes the shot wide of the net. Webster follows it up. Now it's down. Casey O'Brien just inside the line, but she's offside.
Yeah, shots on goal in the third right now. Ohio State 3 to Wisconsin 1. We're only just over 3 minutes into the game, and some good chances, but Ohio State being patient, putting the pressure on, and just sort of leaning into it right now, recognizing, trying to wear them down. And both these teams can capitalize on any given chance, so it's going to be interesting. Is it going to be an odd man rush?
Right out in front with Kirk out of her net, but they escape that danger, and they'll stream it down.
Oh, wow.
Kiara Zanin takes the puck. My goodness.
Cassie Hall bounced right over her stick.
Lacey Eden will send it across to Wilgren. She fires it ahead, and Britta Curl will safely place it down to Ohio State zone before heading off for a change.
Oh, Cassie Hall's body language, she knows it. She's looked up and knew she had a golden opportunity right there to get the first goal of the game.
Amos streaming down the side. Looked to center it, but that was intercepted, and Ohio State will just place it right back into the Badgers zone. Shayla Edwards will spin it around for Wisconsin. She advances the puck. They gain the zone. There's the shot on Kirk. She paddles it aside. Back up top for Murphy. Murphy floats it down. Picard has it on her stick. She turns and fires, intercepted, and Hannah Bilka will just wheel around. Bilka taps it down, and she'll head off for a change. Edwards behind her own net, wheels it around, held in at the line by Gardner. She'll float it towards the net, but it doesn't get through as she gives chase to the puck, but Barnes will slap it in. Edwards taking a look over her shoulder, back to Murphy. Held in at the line by Barnes, but it's held up as Wheeler gets her body in front of it. And there's the long shot that does get to McNaughton, but she'll cover it.
Well, we talked about the chances Ohio State so far here in the third period, but how about this? Reagan playing it really risky, coming out, and look at that chance for Cassie Hall. It bounces right over her stick. You can see Reagan does a good job playing it, but also a collision there with Kayla Barnes. And then here, look at this, great shot. Rebound comes out. She's not able to smother it off her blocker. That's going to be something Wisconsin rather needs to keep an eye on. Those rebounds, those are juicy. Got to get any sort of goal you can get, both teams. Dirty counts the same as a beautiful one.
As AJ, you said, in this 0-0 contest, it was likely going to come down to a mistake. Ohio State managed to avoid one there, getting a bit lucky.
Yeah, that was, it'll be interesting to see if Reagan Kirk continues to come out and play the puck, only because that was, got to get her, spike her heart rate. If that doesn't get Mark Johnson amped up, nothing does.
If that gets in Kirk's psyche. Puck pops out of play into the Wisconsin bench for a whistle. So we've had quite a bit of action, some anxious action here in the third period. It's a scoreless game at the National Championship.
To be a champion, it takes talent, refined into skill with a relentless heart, and constant sweat, wrapped in scarlet and gray. We are Ohio State, and this is our time.
Lauren Bernard and the Ohio State Buckeyes, the top seed in the country, looking for their second national championship in the last 3 years and to avenge a 1-0 loss to this Wisconsin Badgers team that they suffered a year ago.
Yeah, that is motivating them all year long. Obviously, they behind the leadership of Nadine Muzzerall, 3-time WCHA Coach of the Year, 3 years in a row they've been the #1 seed coming into this tournament. Of course, last year they lost to the unseeded Wisconsin Badgers 1-0 in that championship game, but that's something that has motivated them, and they've had that taste of that last loss of the season, keeping them going all year long to get back right here in this position today.
Leah Hexa alongside Olympic gold medalist AJ Malesko. Dana Boyle is also with us rinkside. 4.5 gone here in the third period. Scoreless game in the national championship here from the Whittemore Center at UNH.
Talk about how even the numbers were through two in this third period, just numbers-wise, has been dominated by Ohio State. Shots 4-1, face-offs Ohio State's won 6 to Wisconsin's 1, and high danger chances only 2-1. But of course, that one by Wisconsin was probably the closest opportunity anybody has come to getting the 0 off that board.
Both these teams known for their offensive prowess, but we had a feeling that this game would be more of a defensive juggernaut. At the line, the slappers high over the net, coming off the stick of Bernard. Batted down. This is Lainey Potter. She's got a step. She's got number. Sends it cross ice, but couldn't connect with Lacey Eden, who was right there in the paint. Ohio State at the other side. They'll throw it towards the net, and the Buckeyes were screaming for a penalty. Here comes Wisconsin the other way. Curl will just direct it in as she heads off for a change. Barnes bangs this one off the board, and it'll head all the way down to Wisconsin's zone. It'll be icing on the play.
Oh man, talk about the chances they've had. This was another beauty. You've got Potter looking up, Great look at the backside and just missed. What an incredible defensive play too. Bouncing puck, but Lacey Eden, incredible goal scorer too, by the way. And then it's Riley Bregman who stretches out, gets her stick to disrupt the puck so that Lacey Eden can't bury it. What a good look by Potter, but a better play by Bregman. Oh, funny bounce off the back wall there.
To shoot that.
Yeah, Reagan Kirk tried to play it off the blocker, comes right back out. Good job by her tracking that.
And for Wisconsin, that was their first odd man rush of the game.
That's surprising with the speed that they have and with the defensemen they have moving the puck, the way that they are able to move through the neutral zone. And I think that speaks volumes to Ohio State, how they've prepared their coaching staff with video, what they're looking at, and how these players have executed the coaching staff's vision.
It's nearly 7 minutes gone here in the final frame from the national championship. Zeros on the score sheet. Off the draw. And the Pichel will send that one around, but it's held in at the line by Murphy. Back on the stick of Pichel behind her own net. Webster takes a crack at it. Doesn't exit the zone, but now it does. And this is Matthews. Matthews has it. Matthews on the move. Matthews almost gets the shot off on McNaught and slides away from her. And the Badgers spin it right around the other way. Layla Edwards.
One too many passes there for the Badgers, but action at both ends of the ice. Price of admission.
And here comes Hannah Bilka. Bilka throws it towards the net. We got a stick on it. And O'Brien will just turn it right around, looking to connect with Edwards. The pass isn't complete, and Riley Bregman will send it in.
Bregman trying to make that pass. Unfortunately, it was 6 inches in the air, so unable to get corralled by Amos.
Amos back on the puck, far side. Dunn now. Working along the board, Amos comes in for support. She'll wheel it around. Bilka comes away from it. Knocked off her stick, and now Layla Edwards lifts it up, but they still can't clear the zone. Here's Joy Dunn. Dunn takes the long shot just wide of the net.
Dunn can shoot.
Ohio State continues to buzz. This is Jen Gardner, their captain. Dunn still on the ice in the corner. The first year, weaving her way in, takes a look. Over to Gardner. She fires it through the layers, but it can't get to the net. Guglielmi overskates it. Jungles is watching her.
Long shift for the Badgers. Really long. These are some tired players.
Jungles being watched. She's forced to make a few moves before sending it ahead, but this Buckeyes team continues to work away in Wisconsin's end, and now here is Marianne Picard on it as she skates it into the Buckeyes zone. Picard wheeling around the net, tries for the wraparound, puts it in front. A loose puck. There it is at the side of the net. Kirk well out of her crease.
Kirk staying aggressive.
Now in the corner. Shoveled up top. Wilgren floats it from the point, doesn't get through the layers. Another shot by Potter, another block in front. And that time it was Kayla Barnes.
Good chances, good block shots. You can see the defensive structure. You can see the willingness of both teams to commit.
Britta Curl sending this one ahead. Eden's rubbed out along the boards.
Good poke there. That was
forced to exit the zone. Yes, sorry, AJ.
That's all right. Zanon made a good little subtle poke, got it just outside of the blue line, so they had to exit.
Here comes Maddie Wheeler. She puts it across ice. Curl's going in hard on it, working against Zanon. Emma Pichel has it for the Buckeyes, and she will lift it up. Slides it all the way down the length of the ice. We'll have an icing and bring it back.
Look at this chance here by Ohio State, too. Great defense by Shayla Edwards and misses by inches there, but a really good look at Sloan Matthews. She was the one before this, took it right through the neutral zone. She was trying to get her stick on it, see if she could get that first goal, but Shayla Edwards, excellent job disrupting with that long stick she's got.
Third period chances so far have Wisconsin 3, Ohio State 2. Feels like there's been more of that, though, AJ, to me. It feels like this is the most activity we've seen almost all game.
Yeah, it's opening up a little bit, and it's not riskier. I think it's just that urgency. Right now, they're feeling it. We're under the halfway point of this third period here, and they know that that trophy's on the line. These teams are hungry.
Jungles puts it towards Kirk. She turns it aside.
Great crowd on hand, too. Tough to say who's got the best crowd because we haven't had a goal, and they're all wearing red.
That's the thing. A lot of red in the building today.
Scarlet, I guess, for the Ohio State Buckeye fans.
And here comes O'Brien. O'Brien takes the shot. Kirk with the save, and she'll lay out.
Reagan Kirk read that really, really well as she came across and she cut the angle down on her block side.
So far, Reagan Kirk with 22 saves. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a barn burner right to the finish. We're tied at 0. We are back at the Whittemore Center, and Reagan Kirk is standing tall for Ohio State. 22 saves on the day. The St. Anne, Manitoba product is getting the job done in her first Frozen Four appearance.
Yeah, 21 wins on the season for Reagan Kirk, and look at her. We heard that Dana talk about how she transferred out of Robert Morris. That was a tough time for that program when they lost their program. It's been reinstated, but got to be a weird time when the entire team is looking to transfer because they lost their program.
And at the other end, just as strong, Ava McNaughton, the first-year goaltender for Wisconsin, getting the nod since the playoffs started by her head coach, Mark Johnson. 25 saves for her as we are still awaiting the game's first goal between the top 2 seeds in the nation with a national championship on the line here at the Whittemore Center at UNH. Third period starting to open up a bit here. Sense of urgency, as AJ mentioned. Vivian Jungles will send this one ahead, right back into the Buckeyes zone. Maddie Wheeler behind the net, throwing it back with the no-look pass. No red sweater there to connect with. The captain for the Badgers, Curl, has it on her stick. Wheeler sends it around. Eden behind the net, put it back to Wheeler. And here's Lacey Eden on the far side. She puts it towards Kirk. She'll paddle it away. Pops right back into neutral ice.
Good job by Kirk. That was a hard shot from out, just trying to put it into play, but Kirk had enough of that. Let's get it out of the zone.
Here's Edwards. Takes the shot. It's blocked. Off the body of Kiara Zanin. Buckeyes trying to work the puck out of their own zone as the Badgers are coming. Casey O'Brien. O'Brien drops it back. Here's Edwards. Takes the shot, but again, doesn't get to Kirk. It's blocked in front.
Great job. That was Kayla Barnes cutting across, making sure that puck didn't get through.
Just over 8 minutes left here in the third period. 0's on the board. Now right out in front, here's Sims. Bounces off of her. Back on her stick now. She's being watched by Amos, pinned up along the boards. Emma Pichot. She'll send it around. Joy Dunn's on it for the Buckeyes. She takes a look up ice and skates it out. Dunn charging in the net, takes the shot, goes off the body of Shayla Edwards. Matthews puts it right back to Dunn's stick. Drops it back. Markowski shovels it down. Matthews is on it. She's being watched by Edwards, pinned up along the boards. Now Ava Murphy will calmly send it out of her end. 7.5 to play here in the third period. A national championship on the line. The NCAA Men's Ice Hockey Championship is on the networks of ESPN, and for more information, you can go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. And once again, the men's selection show coming up later on today after we're through here at the national championship.
Timeout was just called. So it looks like Wisconsin Badgers took their timeout.
So AJ, what would be the mentality behind this with 7:30 left here in the third period?
You're looking at, he's got a defensive zone face-off right now. So for Mark Johnson, he maybe has a certain play that he wants. He wants to maybe break some of the momentum that Ohio State has. He also looks at the chances that they've had. And what does he want? He maybe wants to just give him a breather. Hey, we've had these looks. We've had, it was Cassiel had an empty net, bounced over her stick. She didn't choke at all. It was a bouncing puck. But I think maybe for him to just get 7.5 minutes left. Let's go. Let's bring our A game. Everything you got right now. Empty the tank.
Nadine Meserol also speaking to her group. Both these coaches have had tremendous amount of success within their programs. The 21st season for Mark Johnson, the all-time winningest coach in UW history on the women's college hockey side.
You know, and on the flip side, you get Meserol over there. She's got her whiteboard out. She's chewing her gum and getting these guys going. I give her a hard time. She goes through a lot of gum during games, especially stressful games. But she's got the offensive zone faceoff, so that timeout certainly helps her.
So off the draw, won by Ohio State, back up to Barnes. She'll send it low. Eden's on it for Wisconsin. She sends it ahead. Here, Curl almost had a step, but she's knocked off the puck. Barnes doing her job, sends it to Bilka. Bilka over to Dunn. Dunn shoots! She scores! The first year, Joy Dunn has the game's first goal, and it's 1-0 for the Buckeyes.
Oh man, that is a big goal for the first year. Good job by Kayla Barnes. It was a one-on-one, beautiful pass through the neutral zone, and Hannah Bilka right back to Joy Dunn, and she's got a wicked shot. She can snap it off. She steps right into it. There is a little tip there. So for Ava McNaughton, it tips up a little bit. Look at that emotion there. 2 assists go to the 2 transfers out of Boston College. Barnes and Bilka, great quick transition through the neutral zone, and it's first year Joy Dunn, youngest of the Dunn siblings, putting away the first goal of the game.
That's her team leading 24th of the season. None bigger for her this year, as the Rookie of the Year in the NCAA has her team up 1-0 over the defending champion Wisconsin Badgers with just under 7 minutes to play here in the third period.
I wonder what Mark's thinking now with that timeout. Was that something that, you know, just interesting? Did Nadine take better care of that and take more advantage of that timeout?
Ohio State goal scored by number 16.
So now we wait to see what the response is for Wisconsin as they find themselves down 1-0 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
That is a big goal, 7:12 left, and mentioned that first goal is important, but the longer time goes on, the pressure is on the Badgers.
If you think back to the Badgers win last year, it was a first year for them, AJ, who made all the difference as well, Kirsten Sims. Let's remember the Badgers have the top 2-point producers in the nation in Sims and O'Brien. They have a lot of offensive strength. We'll see what they can do here as they look to tie this game with under 6 to play. Puck comes away and the Buckeyes do as well. This is Markowski. Stephanie Markowski on the move. She has numbers, sends it across her, down again. She shoots, but McNaughton gets a piece of it.
What a save by McNaughton, keeping them in this game. A second goal would be a nail in the coffin.
This one now goes up top under the stick of Amos. Markowski's forced to retreat all the way back to her own end.
You're absolutely right, Lee. You go back to those missed opportunities that the Badgers had, some of the one gimme that they had, and it's just tougher to swallow now.
Wisconsin looking to get something going in the Buckeye zone, but it'll come all the way back down to their end where Vivian Jungles collects. To the captain, Curl. She fires it ahead, can't get it out of her own zone. Jungles follows it up, but mishandles at the line. But now they'll get it to center ice. Curl sends it ahead. Wheeler's being kept up. Maddie Wheeler at the red line. She'll shovel it into the zone. Lacey Eden from the side takes the long shot. Reagan Kirk with the save. Bouncy puck in front, and she will sprawl out to cover. And hello, here we go.
And here's a look back at the goal, too. The one goal we've had. Kayla Barnes does a great job defending one-on-one, closes the gap. Secondary assist for primary to Bilka, and that was a dandy of a shot by Joy Dunn to put Ohio State up 1-0. Let's see if Wisconsin has the answer.
For Ohio State, it's all about avenging last year's 1-0 loss to Wisconsin and capturing their second national title in 3 years. And here is the first year, Joy Dunn. This is the difference so far in this hockey game. Dana, what more can you tell us about the Rookie of the Year?
She's playing with some extra fire out there on the ice, but she's a National Rookie of the Year, first for the Buckeye program, if you can believe it or not. And when we talked to Coach Mazeral, she said, what stands out to me about Joy is her strength and her shot. She hasn't really seen many women shoot the puck like Joy does, and not just in terms of power, but accuracy and purpose. And probably one of her favorite things about the freshman Joy Dunn is how coachable she is. And that award, she deflects it all to her teammates, saying that's a teammate's award.
The best thing, when the three of us sat down with some of these players, we got to talk to Joy Dunn. She's, as you guys have both mentioned, she's 5'11". She said, I had no idea it was so big. I come from a really big family. And of course, she's sitting next to 5'1" Kayla Barnes. She's rolling her eyes, saying, yeah, try to pin that girl.
4.5 to go here in the third period. 1-0 for Ohio State off the goal by Joy Dunn. And that's the difference maker so far in this outing. The national championship on the line. O'Brien working away behind the board. She looks to center it, can't connect with Sims. And it's lifted up to center line. Giving chase back. Barnes, she'll survey and take a look up ice. Badgers with a change. Anna Wilgren skates it out for the Badgers. She'll send this one ahead. Cross-ice pass is intercepted by Jocelyn Amos. And now, once again, here's Dunn. Dunn on the move. She'll drop it back for Bilka. Dunn behind the net, being pinned by Potter. She's got 3 red sweaters on her as she continues to work away here, just battling. And not holding her post. They continue to work away here, and finally Lacey Eden.
Feel the seconds tick away for the Badgers.
There's a long shot from the point. It's wide, coming off the stick of Bernard. Layla Edwards chops this one ahead. Eden's on it. She gains the zone. She'll check up and wait for support.
Good move for Lacey Eden right there.
Back on the stick of Eden. She sends it up top. The one-timer by Jungles, and Kirk lost sight of it. Jungles with the game winner in the semifinal for this Badgers team. There's another long shot, doesn't get through. And here comes Ohio State on the move. Kenzie Hosworth working away. She's knocked off the puck, but a strong individual effort. And that puck's just out of the reach of Kelly Gorbatenko, and it will be an icing, so we will bring it back.
Yeah, you look at Ohio State right now, they're up 1-0. So for them, the key is going to be, you've got their coaching staff. The key to the messaging is, how do you balance that? You got to play to win. You can't start to play not to lose, even under 3 minutes. But you also have to manage the game clock. You have to be safe. You get over the red line. If you don't have a clear path, you get it in deep. Keep it deep. You've got to manage the puck. Those are the things that right now they're trying to balance with this very precarious 1-goal lead. Wisconsin, it's a little bit easier. You're just throwing everything at them. You got to go just pedal to the metal. Pretty soon, I expect, once they get control in the offensive zone, if they have control of the puck, I imagine Mark Johnson will get Ava McNaughton out there for an extra attacker. So in terms of mindset, it's easier for the Badgers. Ohio State has to balance the trying to be smart with the puck, but also keeping your gas down.
Jocelyn Amos will go up against Casey O'Brien. Off the draw. Jayla Edwards will send it around to the stick of Sims. She tries to shovel it ahead, and now she'll send it across, and Edwards is skating for it.
Wisconsin trying to stretch the zone there, get a quick attack.
O'Brien centers it. There's a one-time shot. Doesn't make it through. It was coming off the stick of the captain, Britta Curl. And now the Buckeyes will turn it around. This is Bilka. Bilka looking to make the move, couldn't get it through. And Ava Murphy will just poke it up to center ice. 2 minutes to play here in the third period. There's a turnover shot in front. McNaughton with a save as it came off the stick of Gardner.
Tough time to lose an edge. Bad luck.
Layla Edwards for the Badgers. Trying to break her way into the zone, and she does. She's got O'Brien with her. Edwards still on the puck. She drops it down to O'Brien. McNaughton's thinking about coming, and here she goes. McNaughton to the bench. Badgers with the extra attacker. 1:30 left here in the national final with Ohio State up 1-0. Badgers working the puck around the net, up top to Jungles. Jungles puts it down low, back to the stick of Jungles, bounces over. Here's Edwards, takes the shot, Kirk with the save.
Great give and go there between Edwards and Jungles, just a bouncing puck. Jungles couldn't quite get a handle for the quick shot she was looking for. Dished it back to Edwards. That's not where they wanted the puck. You can see she bobbles it here. She does a good job of not losing it, and good job by Layla Edwards to collect that inner skates and get a quick shot. Not a great angle. She's just trying to get it into the danger zone there. The idea was for Jungle to get the shot.
Once again, Aiden McNaughton on the bench for the extra attacker for the Badgers. Just over a minute here to play in the third period. This is Lacey Eden to Harvey. Up top to Eden. Back to Harvey at the line. She'll shovel it down, and we have a minute to go here in this national final. Held in at the line.
A lot of the passes for Wisconsin are bobbled, or they're up high in the zone. They're not stick to stick in each other's skates. It's not, I don't know if it's pressure or what. It's interesting to watch how they're not clean.
Harvey just used her body to make a great save as Dunn was looking for the net. Joy Dunn's goal for Ohio State, currently the difference maker in this one with 30 seconds left on the clock. Long shot, Kirk turns it aside. Pass intercepted, lifted up and out, and Harvey will give chase. She's being watched by Gardner, the captain for the Buckeyes, the senior looking for her second national title. 14 seconds to go here in the third. Badgers forced to check up. Ohio State looking to burn out the clock. And they've done it! The Ohio State Buckeyes are your national champions. Their second title in the last 3 years as they avenge the 1-0 loss to Wisconsin last season to stand at the top.